Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the new upcoming movies and TV shows that Marvel has officially announced at Comic-Con. Kevin Feige has dropped the bomb once again. These were pretty massive news drops, like left and right. It was upcoming project after upcoming project, and they even went over not only phase 5 but phase 6 and where the end of these movies culminated. So before we start, just to give you guys a quick sense of where we're at in these phases of movies, from phases 1, 2, and 3, that concluded and that wrapped up what Kevin Feige and Marvel dubbed as the Infinity Saga. Now from phase 4, which will be concluding with She-Hulk will be releasing sometime in August, Black Panther Wakanda Forever will be releasing in November. Those two will conclude phase 4 and we'll be going into phase 5 all the way to phase 6. So the movie that kicks off phase 5 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, February 17th, 2023. I'm gonna be honest, this was a project I really wasn't too excited on, considering the last Ant-Man movie was a bit filler in my opinion. The more they talked about this movie at Comic-Con and watching the panel and watching Payne and Reed discuss about it and hearing what was in the trailer, it actually got me pumped. I'm really stoked. So before we get into all of that, there is a new poster that has been released. We have Ant-Man, we have Wasp, and we have Cassie Lang in her sort of Ant-Man suit. There are two questions. Will she be assuming the stature role in the comics where she kind of goes big like Giant Man, or does she assume the role of Stinger from the comic books, which is more in line with a kind of Wasp character, because she has this purple and black look, which is something in vein of the Stinger character from the comics. And we also have in the background the menacing Jonathan Majors as Kang. I am excited. I want to see where they go with this. I want to see how much of a threat Jonathan Majors' Kang is, because Loki just gave us the tip of the iceberg as to what one Kang variant could be, and he was a nice guy for the most part. But the moment you killed one Kang, there will now be many to take over his place. And Peyton Reed says that we'll be spending more time on the quantum realm. There's a lot in store for the characters in this movie, and we're going to meet a lot of new characters in this movie. Now we'll be going into the trailer description. Okay, so for the leaked trailer description for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it says that Scott Lang reads excerpts from his new book Look Out for the Little Guy to a crowd. It's clear that Scott hasn't seen the action in some time before receiving a call from his daughter who's in prison, Cassie Lang. Scott wants Cassie's help, but he doesn't want her to waste her life either. He talks about how he saved the world, which is greeted by Hank Pym scolding Scott for constantly pointing this out, and Janet and Hope also intervene. "You're an interesting man," Scott Lang says Kang the Conqueror, this film's villain. "You've wasted a lot of time, but time isn't what you think it is. It's not a straight line." I think this is pretty much yet another, it's like a funny Easter egg as to Loki as well, and how pretty much the timeline pretty much went astray, and how we all had these little branching timelines, branch timelines within branch timelines within branch timelines, which just caused this sort of intermingling of timelines with one another as well. Something in the lab explodes and starts sucking everyone into the quantum realm. They all find themselves in another world, in new suits, as Bill Murray shows up with Janet. There's also MODOK, apparently, that they confirmed that MODOK is set to appear in this footage, but I'm not sure. There has been some leaked screenshots and whatnot, but even I couldn't make out if it was MODOK or not. "Everything you cling to, everything you call life, I know how it ends," says Kang. Because, you know, with He Who Remains, a variant of Kang, he foresaw the very moment that Sylvie and Loki were going to come up to him face to face as well. The Kang character, yes, we've seen a version of the character who's foreseen the events that are about to unfold. But the thing with Kang is that he is different identities however many years into the future, and also however many years into the past. He's Iron Lad, who was a version of Kang but rejected it and instead became the hero Iron Lad. And even in the past, the character of Rama Tut, who is a version of Kang who existed in ancient Egypt, Scott tells him he made a mistake because he's an Avenger. Kang asks incredulously, "Are you an Avenger?" and asks Scott, "Did I kill you yet?" Man, that is wicked. I quite like that line. This isn't Kang's first rodeo, you know. Kang has pretty much put an end to some of, if not all, these Avengers in whatever many timelines before. I have theory that the reason why Kang is the villain of this movie is that we think he wants to kill Ant-Man, but I think he wants to kill his daughter, Cassie Lang. She's a young Avenger. In the comics, Cassie Lang is a part of the Young Avengers. Most of, if not all, these Marvel Disney Plus shows, from Hawkeye having Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, Loki season 1 having had Kid Loki, WandaVision having had her boys Wiccan and Speed. Furthermore, we also had Eli Bradley, who's known as Patriot, which we've seen the character in Falcon and Winter Soldier, America Chavez, and now having Miss Marvel. These could be the next Young Avengers. These could be characters for the Young Avengers, and I think that whichever timeline Kang is from, maybe those versions of those characters are the ones that put an end to him. So maybe that's why he's the villain of this movie. He wants to kill Cassie Lang so that the formation of the Young Avengers doesn't happen. The next announcement after that is Secret Invasion, which will be releasing sometime in spring 2023. During this Comic-Con panel for Secret Invasion, Kobe Smulders, who plays Maria Hill, came up on stage, pretty much talked about what to expect from this show. She said that this show will be expanding on certain characters that we've met before, of course, like Nick Fury and Maria Hill and whatnot. What we can expect from this show in terms of tone to be something a bit more darker, an exciting thriller, and a guessing game on who is a human or a Skrull. This series will be starring Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury, Kobe Smulders, who will be playing Maria Hill, Ben Mendelsohn, who will be playing Talos the Skrull, Don Cheadle, who plays James Rhodes, War Machine, and a newly added actor that they have brought on to the project who is Regé Jean Page. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Emilia Clarke, of course, you know her from one of her biggest projects, which is Game of Thrones. Now onto the next announcement, which is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 6th, 2023. For this part of the panel, James Gunn says, "I fell in love with these characters. They aren't really superheroes. They're sort of outer space adventurers, but really they're just a bunch of oddballs, outcasts, and weirdos like a lot of us. They save the universe a couple of times, but really they save each other. This is the end of that story with these characters." He also says some stories have an end. That doesn't mean everybody dies. But knowing James Gunn and his last movie he did, which was The Suicide Squad, which really gave you a sense of the stakes that nobody's safe and how certain characters could die. I don't know how much I can trust James Gunn on that. In terms of some major announcements for this, Will Poulter will be playing Adam Warlock, so there's some more solid concrete confirmation because he was on stage. Maria Bakalova, she will be playing Cosmo the Space Dog, and Chuck Rudy Iruji, you guys may have known him from the Peacemaker series, which was also done by James Gunn, coincidentally enough. He will be playing the High Evolutionary, the villain of this movie. I wrote in brackets, has ties to Rocket's past, because this character, from the vibe that they kind of gave off, because the actor Chuck Woody actually came up on stage in the makeup and in his costume of the High Evolutionary for Volume 3. He was doing his bit, you know, some of these actors like to come up to Comic-Con in their costume, act like their characters and whatnot. So he kind of gave off this like mad scientist personality. But the reason why I said he has ties to Rocket's past is because there were seconds of leaked footage for the Guardians trailer. For those minor seconds, they did show a baby raccoon. So could this be the movie that explores Rocket's tragic past and how he was created basically from a raccoon to a cybernetically enhanced raccoon pretty much. The reason why I say that is because James Gunn also mentions how of all the characters in the universe, Rocket Raccoon is the saddest person in the universe or in the galaxy. So that's why I feel like there's gonna be a lot of Rocket's character that's gonna be really explored in this installment of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But I am really sad though when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because James Gunn and even the cast themselves are really emphasizing about the fact that this is this team's last sort of movie, so we may not see some of these characters ever again. Maybe they might continue the Guardians team, but maybe with some old characters plus some new characters like Adam Warlock could be a part of the team. Heck, even Cosmo the dog could be a part of the team. Cosmo has some freaking telekinesis mind power thing he can do. This third installment of Guardians sounds very bittersweet, and I really want to see how they conclude this journey of these particular Guardians characters. On to the next announcement for the next Marvel TV show, Echo, which is set to premiere of summer 2023. This will be exploring the character of Echo, aka Maya Lopez, who was played by Alqua Cox, if I'm not mistaken. That's the actress's name. And this will be taking place after the events of Hawkeye, after Maya shot Kingpin, quote unquote. Considering this was an off-screen kill, I highly doubt he's dead. There's a similar situation in the comics where Kingpin does manage to survive. It is likely, there has been some news reports that Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, is likely to be a part of this series, considering Echo's ties to the Kingpin character, and supposedly Charlie Cox will be showing up as Daredevil in this series. I will take that as a possibility, considering how both the Kingpin character and the Echo character have ties to Daredevil. The next Marvel Disney Plus series that will be releasing in summer 2023 is Loki Season 2. I'm really pumped for Loki Season 2. The ending was mad. For lack of a better word, the fact that Kang's now running shit in the TVA means that stuff is gonna go down. So I really want to see how do we leap from that point in the ending of Season 1. Because I love Loki Season 1. I think it's top-notch, one of the best Marvel series yet. And it landed on its own 2 feet so well. In terms of this, for Loki Season 2, they didn't really show off anything official. There has been some leaked set photos and videos of them filming it. There has been one where Mobius and Loki are on a mission where they're wearing these tuxedos and everything, and it seems to be at a movie premiere, a premiere for apparently one of Kingo's movies, so I quite like that throwback Easter egg, so that was pretty dope. If you don't know who's Kingo, he's from Eternals, who was played by Kumail Nanjiani. Then there's also some set photos of Mobius, Loki, and Sylvie filming outside of McDonald's. So I'm really curious as to whether that's just a variant of Sylvie or if that's the same Sylvie from the Citadel at the end of time. The Marvels. The Captain Marvel sequel starring Teyonah Parris, who will be playing Photon or Spectrum, the daughter of Maria Rambeau, Monica Rambeau. And we last saw that character in the end of WandaVision. We'll also be getting Miss Marvel, played by Iman Vellani. And we saw the post-credits scene of where she will be, or at least a hint as to where Miss Marvel will be, and of course Captain Marvel, the main lead, played by Brie Larson herself. That's currently in production. The next movie announcement is Blade, which has a release date for November 3rd, 2023. Sadly, there was no new confirmation other than the fact that this is starring Mahershala Ali as the titular character of Blade. They will begin to film this October, so I'm really excited for that. More horror stuff, and I'm really excited to see as to Marvel pushing for more horror-based stuff in the MCU. Marvel dipped their toes into those waters with Multiverse of Madness, but I think Blade is something that could really push forward the horror aspects of the MCU, the supernatural, as they say. Now we'll be going on to the next Marvel Disney Plus series that has been announced, which is scheduled to release on fall 2023, which is Ironheart. According to Kevin Feige, he has stated during this panel that it is currently shooting right now. This will be following the character of Riri Williams becoming the Ironheart character, a sort of successor to Iron Man. In the comics, her origin is somewhat based off of Iron Man, where she kind of builds this sort of Mark 1-esque Iron Man suit. It fails, but then she gets a visit by an AI Tony Stark, who then teaches her how to become a better Iron Man, you know? So think about that Spider-Man and Iron Man dynamic, but Robert Downey Jr. as an AI teaching a young girl how to become Iron Man. This series could also take place after Wakanda Forever, considering we see the character of Riri Williams in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer. The next Disney Plus series announcement, which will be scheduled for a winter 2023 or 2024 release, Agatha Coven of Chaos. There's nothing much to say about the show. Nothing has made public yet, other than I guess Catherine Hahn reprising the role of Agatha. I'm not sure what this show could be delving into, to be honest. Not really pumped for it. Agatha Coven of Chaos, for those that are excited for this, hey, this is for you, man. This is for all the Wanda and Agatha fans and stans around the world. So yeah, this is for you. The one I am most excited about, thank God, Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige is the new god, the Marvel god. Finally announced this Disney Plus series, which has me so excited. Daredevil Born Again. We finally got an announcement for the Daredevil Revival series. First big piece of news, which is the obvious, but you know, it still warms our hearts as Daredevil fans, that Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox will be returning for the series. This just warmed my heart. What made this the creme of la cremes in terms of announcements is that Kevin Feige has stated that for this first season of this show, it will have 18 episodes, which makes it the longest Marvel Disney Plus show yet. That's triple and double the amount of some of the Marvel Disney Plus shows we had. WandaVision and Loki were 9 episodes. Falcon and Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel were 6. I am so happy because if they were to do the same thing they did for Obi-Wan and all these other Marvel shows, whether it be Star Wars or Marvel, whatever you name it, and do this whole 6-episode event, it would truly break my heart because they sort of have to rush things. I am so happy we get given 18 episodes of Daredevil. I hope that they really utilize this 18 episodes well and really not rush to get to the end, but slowly but surely tell a good, phenomenal story. I am so excited for Daredevil Born Again. Seeing more Daredevil in general has my good faith in Marvel. Marvel, shut up and take my money. Daredevil Born Again will be set to release on spring 2024. The next movie announcement for Phase 5 is Captain America New World Order, which is scheduled to release for May 3rd, 2024. This will be starring Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, Captain America. As we all know, if you have seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, in that series, Falcon finally dons the role of Captain America, looking awesome, if not better than OG Captain America, I dare say. But I'm really excited to see where this movie takes him, and for him to be a main lead in a Captain America movie is really exciting as well. I'm really excited what they do with the character. I also want to see what they explore with this character. I mean, it's dubbed a New World Order, so we don't know what's gonna happen for this movie. I think there will be some racial/social conflict in terms of Sam Wilson taking on the Captain America role, considering he's an African American, and well, you know how America be, people. America be America, I guess. But I'm also interested as to who might be the villain of this. Potentially, it could be Sharon Carter, the Power Broker, or it could be some entirely new villains. Some people theorize that we might get a multiverse story where we get a variant of Steve Rogers who then ends up revealing that he's a Hydra agent. These are all theories. These could all mean nothing, or they could mean something. But till then, we'll only find out. And the last movie, which will be releasing July 28th, 2024, and this will close out Phase 5, which is the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts in the comics are, from what I gather, a group of anti-hero/villains that are organized by the government to sort of do these undercover missions, something in the vein of Suicide Squad, where they gather these anti-heroes or villains to come together, do this job. We might give you a few years off your sentence to spend some free time with yourselves and whatnot, but in order to gain that, do these missions for us, and then maybe we might set you guys free. On to Phase 6. Phase 6, there wasn't that much announcements, but the 3 big announcements, I'd say the last 2 announcements were the ones that got people going. We finally have a release date for Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four will be kicking off Phase 6, and it will be releasing November 8th, 2024. We've not gotten any new information on the director that will be taking up this movie and castings for the Fantastic Four, but the biggest, without a doubt, the hugest, the most amazing announcements to hear that this saga, this multiverse saga, will conclude in 2-parter Avengers movies. The first one being Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, which is set to release May 2025, and Avengers Secret Wars November 7th, 2025. 2 Avengers movies within the same year. I will give Marvel the benefit of the doubt that this will be true, but then again, knowing how sometimes dates can change and certain releases can change on a dime, it's likely possible that these 2 movies may not release back to back, but maybe along the lines where you don't have to wait for too long. But the last movie to end Phase 6, Avengers Secret Wars, I am ecstatic. The fact that they set in stone that Secret Wars is the concluding Marvel movie of this phase has gotten me theorizing, speculating, and thinking about 101 different things at once that I shouldn't, because it's gonna fry my brain. But for what I can gather, I have 2 possible theories. One more so seems a bit more tangible, considering this was a statement Kevin Feige has made. So in terms of this whole multiverse arc, we all know that Jonathan Majors is playing Kang. And, you know, I remembered in one of these interviews that Kevin Feige did after the panel, he had said that he couldn't have put the multiverse in good hands in reference to Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang. So I think, personally, these two movies could be Kang-centric, although in the comic book Secret Wars is a Doctor Doom story where he takes the powers of the Beyonder and merges these multiverses into one world called Battle World. So all these different universes sort of like exist with one another. Doom is like the head honcho in that story. He runs stuff. He has a hold on the world because he has the powers of the Beyonder, making him almost godlike. That was theory one, something more Kang-centric for these two parts. Kang's going to be the main through-line villain. Another theory is that maybe in Avengers the Kang Dynasty, Doctor Doom and Kang are both the main villains, and they team up together to take down the Avengers in this sort of multiverse conquest. And what would be insane is that maybe towards the end, Kang thinks he is the man. Kang thinks he has it all in the palm of his hand. And until you know it, Doom just catches him off guard, eliminates Kang from the equation, maybe takes some of Kang's powers, his time travel abilities, and his multiversal-esque abilities. I don't know. And that leads into Secret Wars, going for something more of that comic book accurate approach where Doom is the villain for Secret Wars. So that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching our videos. It means a lot. Thank you guys for showing support on all the videos we do. It really reassures us that you guys support us no matter what. Like our video as it shows your support. Subscribe if you haven't. Till then, take care guys and have a great day.